Come up with my toys. Sir Kenneth Robinson talked about passion, and this is my passion. I sort of think of myself as a class clown who finally found a purpose. So thanks. I also want to say the sentiment that so often we say, the kids are our future. We're doing this because the kids are our future. But we all know that the kids are our now. Right now, our kids are already doing wondrous things. You mentioned my book, Honey, I Wrecked the Kids, and it is a tongue-in-cheek sort of a name. But really, I think it's because it resonates with parents. They realize, I've just been throwing spaghetti on the wall and see what sticks approach to parenting, and I really don't know what's going on. And when we suddenly have children who are not behaving, we are pretty sure that it must be something that we're doing. How many people here have already opened up the bank account for the psychological services that you just know that they're going to have to get down the road, right? We're very quick to blame ourselves as parents. But I think what we have to understand, and what I want parents to know, is that we're parenting right now in very interesting times. We're educating our children right now at interesting times, historically speaking. There is a revolution underfoot, and we're not even aware of it. I mean, here we are, Waterloo, Flanders Fields, all the battles that are going on, and there is a private battle going on in the classrooms and the living rooms of our nations. The children's revolution is amongst us, and we need to embrace it. And I know that the fact that you're here with TEDxKids tells me that you're already willing to be part of this exciting revolution. That we've already been through the women's rights movement. Thank you for the suffragettes. We've already been through the civil rights movement. And we thank Martin Luther King, all the people that fought for that. Finally, the children who have typically in society been at the lowest pecking order of our society are rising up. They're revolting. They are seeking out their ability to have the same rights and freedoms as everybody else. And are we ready to do that? It is a mind twist to think about how we're going to work with kids in a way that is different from the past. Because in the past, all of our relationships with children have been a superior-inferior form of control and manipulation. That we had a goal to make our kids obedient. And that worked, as Sir Kenneth Robinson said, when we wanted to put our kids into a hierarchical manufacturing society where they would know their pecking order and take their instructions. But that's no longer today. That is no longer the future. Today, we want our kids to be creative. We want them to be problem solvers. We want them to think outside the box, and we want them to be cooperative. That's what the human resources people will tell you. They'll tell you, we've got lots of smart people. We've got lots of people with triple PhDs. We need people that can work together, that can work collaboratively. Those are the people that can work on teams and be synergistic in the future. Today's opportunity with their educators, they're really their facilitators, aren't they? They're going to help those kids learn. They're going to work collaboratively with them in an area of passion, following an emergent curriculum that's exciting to them. And they are going to bust forth. That is required for cooperation. But so often we get in the way of kids and they get in the way of ourselves. And we get into power struggles. I speak mostly to parents about power struggles. And I like to actually call them power contests. And I want to demonstrate the psychodynamic of a power contest for you so that you can avoid it and avoid the hurdle that often stops our kids from being their best selves and from getting on with the learning task, which is what we all want them to do. Because today's kids, knowing their own feeling of social equality, that they're due to be treated with respect and dignity, they want their proper empowerment. And so they're watching for it all the time. And as a parent, you might just say to yourself, do your homework. It's time to study. But the child who has power on their mind, that does not want to be in that press one down position, will say, no, I won't. You said, what? What did you say? Do your homework? That is a command. That is a command, not a request. I do not do commands. And at that point now, your child has taken up their position in a power contest. The most famous power contest that I think all of us will know is the good old-fashioned tug-of-war. Anyone go to camp? Does this thing still exist? Do you have these in Europe? I'm a Canadian here. Do you have these at camp? Yes? Okay, good. Thank you. I'm sure you can do it electronically on the Wii now. A power contest is about two teams in opposition. It takes two people to have a power contest. That means we have to appreciate as educators and as parents that we are complicit in making this dynamic happen. So once the child has decided, I have to show you that I'm going to win this power contest. Therefore, I will not study. I will not do my homework. I will say no. And they become entrenched in their position. But of course, as parents, We know. Don't they have to study? Don't we know we're right? We pick up our end of the rope and we hold steadfast with our rightness. But of course you have to study, you'll fail. But of course you have to study and get an A. You've got to go to that university. We know we're right. And it is our sense of rightness that makes us hold on to our end of the competition, or our end of the rope, to try to win that competition of power over kids. And so we have two teams in opposition, both trying to decide who is going to fight and who's going to win. The child is as invested in proving their point and proving their power as you are with yours. And so we stay stuck. We stay stuck. And every parent then will attempt to pull harder, to increase their external control, increase their dominance in order to win that fight because they know that they're right. And that's mostly where our parenting will go. So unfortunately, when we pull harder, our kids resist more and we stay stuck in this dance. What I'd like to invite parents to do is to not win power struggles, because that's history's model, and our kids will repeat what we model to them. But I don't want you to lose power struggles. I don't want that. You know what? Fine, I don't care. Don't come to me about your homework. I don't want us to lose. That's not self-respecting to us. That doesn't help our children. We need a third way out, and that is to drop the rope. Get out of the battle. Get off the battlefield. We need instead to win our children's cooperation, not dominate them. We want cooperation, not control. We want to stimulate and motivate instead of manipulate our kids. And that's going to happen here today. And I get the privilege of walking around and enjoying the process today, where we see these kids in an environment where cooperation will come forth. And they're going to have a learning experience that's going to be phenomenal. And I'm going to report back what I learn at the end of the day to you all. So enjoy the rest of your TED Talks this afternoon. Thank you, and more this afternoon.